Hey everybody, this is Rebel Builder. Welcome back to my building an AT-M6 video series. This is episode 5. Here we are. We're looking at the front legs. Now, to be honest, this is one of the most challenging things I have ever built, but one of the most satisfying. I mean, just kind of look at some of this chunkiness down here. There's a lot of challenges here, a lot of structural challenges. You can see, like the back legs, I put a bend in here. Not quite as severe as the back legs, you know, but I just wanted to give it personality. Now there's, you know, something just with the pose of the gorilla walker where it's got these things bent a little bit. It just kind of adds a little something to, I don't know what to call it besides personality, you know, just the character of this thing, you know, relating it to the idea of this being a gorilla walker. This is where it really starts to take shape. And, you know, just putting that little bit of bend while still maintaining some good structure, some good strength. We'll talk about those techniques. You know, that's what made this thing super challenging, but also a ton of fun to build. Here we are looking at the front foot. You know, really the idea is this is the knuckle of a gorilla. A lot of characteristic, a lot of personality goes into this. And this thing is hard to convey how big this is, but we'll have Kylo Ren here for scale. This thing is just monstrous. It was really fun kind of working out these different details, kind of using whatever kind of technique and piece I could come up with. I ended up doing slope bricks here on the side, and then, you know, there's an arch here, so this, or a hinge brick, so that kind of moves sideways. Down here, this is kind of a familiar kind of technique I used on the back legs too. Just wedge plates with tiles on it. But I like that design, and it's kind of a little different than what some of the other builders have done. I like this section here. Some curved slopes, and then I've got this 6x6 dish, you know, arch tiles, and just kind of, really this is just camouflage. This is all just kind of decoration. These are actually kind of just flimsy being on here, and it's just kind of detail. What is really happening on the inside is lots of Technic. Now my Technic goes vertical here, and then it connects with some other Technic going this way with some hinges. So this actually does kind of pivot a little bit. I don't know if that's going to be a problem. We'll have to kind of wait till the end, you know, get the body on, see how the whole thing rests to see. There's not a lot of movement here. It can only go like that, and it still stands, and then it can move back a little bit. Now we've got these pieces back here. You know, these, you know, really they're, you know, some mechanism for picking up the foot as the thing walks. You know, I've got some of these kind of engine pieces, you know, that we're familiar with from the X-Wing sets. And I love doing these little details. You know, this is just super fun, kind of challenging yourself to come up with different pieces, different ways to be creative with something that's really not meant for what you're looking at. Okay, now we're gonna come up a little bit. This whole front plate, this is super cool, but man, that was hard to come up with. I have, these are the door rail pieces, so I kind of give the illusion of these notches on the front here, and then tiles, bricks with the stud on the side kind of working its way up. And then this section, you know, this is kind of a famous design, you know, these kind of chunky grill sections sticking out. You know, obviously this is kind of a response to the Rebel Alliance taking down walkers on Hoth. You know, the idea is this, you know, they're vents, but it can, you know, cut through cables and stuff. Now this whole thing is just kind of one big chunky piece, and then it connects this way to some of the structure that I have in here, and really it's all hidden back here. Now if we flip around to this side, this design is kind of one of my favorite things I've ever designed. Really kind of trying to create the shape that this walker really has in this location, but I've got some cool slopes and it kind of works its way up here. I like the detail of this, you know, some round slopes again. I've used so many round slopes on this thing. But what we're gonna do is just pop this guy off. Now hopefully we don't destroy it, but see, there you can kind of get a glimpse of some of the Technic structure. Technic beams going this way, and then it builds out sideways from here. You can see some of the structure here with slopes, kind of building this chunky piece here. You know, adding some cool greebles in there. You know, I love the look of that stuff. But you can see these Technic beams connecting this way, holding this front piece on, you know, here and here. This again is just kind of a flimsy piece hanging on there. Just kind of using whatever Technic pieces I can to connect it together. Now, you also should note that this front leg is 4 studs wide. So I've got 2 rows of Technic beams on the inside and then Technic beams outside, so a total of 4 to really just give this thing some strength. Now you can see this piece, you know, this is actually not sturdy. It's really, you know, just kind of, you know, bricks and then these wedge bricks and just kind of building up and then building this thing on the side. And it really just connects with some Technic pins and just snaps on here. But there's no need for it to be strong. You know, you're not grabbing the walker by this, you know, this isn't a structural thing. And it really just adds some cool detail in there, and it's kind of out of the way. Another section I'm kind of proud of is the inside of the leg here. Now, a lot of these inside sections of the legs, you know, you're probably not going to see very well. And this was almost an afterthought. And when I'm building on the inside, I kind of let myself have more studs showing. So these 4x4 quarter plates, you know, I think that's fine. But it gives me an opportunity to really add some cool detail, different tiles, and then the greebles and working out this detail section down here. You know, you kind of spend a few minutes on that and you come up with something and you put it on and it just kind of really just makes that section pop. It looks cool. I love all the detail, and I think I did just the right amount of light gray in here just to give it some definition. And like the back leg, I kind of have the same design here, the 8x8 round tile. And this is easy to pop off. It's really just being held on by these 2 little Technic pins. You can see everything going on. Technic beams vertical, Technic beams horizontal, Technic beams horizontal this way. And I'm using, just again, a series of Technic lift arms at different angles, kind of working out the geometry to, you know, brace it this way and this way just to build that slight bend in the knee. In working our way up this way, you know, we had some building this way and now we're just vertical, much the same technique as the back leg. That was one cool thing about doing 4 legs and trying to mimic the design I did for the back legs, is just some of that design process went faster. This section here, you know, this is like this kind of piece of armor plating kind of on the front of the top leg. I did this in light bluish gray. I'm kind of wondering if it's too much, but I kind of went this direction because of these 2x2 triangle tiles. I think those are a really cool piece and they worked out there, but they don't make those in dark bluish gray yet. Here, you know, this is a light bluish gray piece. I just need to get some more of those pieces because kind of used them all up. It's amazing how many parts I've used on this build. All right, we'll look at some of the top of the leg here, kind of swing around to the back now, or the inside of the leg. You know, I've popped off, you know, these pieces that we just saw. But again, Technic bricks sideways. And so that gives it a lot of strength vertically, like, you know, compressing down, it's just really super strong, super rigid because it's 4, you know, rows of Technic bricks all connected together. Same design as the back legs, you know, bricks with studs on 2 sides and kind of just changing the direction of those. So I could use some bricks and then just tiles on the outside there. Now kind of the last section we'll look at is, you know, this front shoulder piece. If you saw the video for the front legs, the idea is this is the connector for the leg, and then there will be some pieces resting up here So that's more where the weight of the whole body is going to rest, is on this stuff, not just on this. You know, this connection here, that'll be more for kind of a lateral connection. We can swing around here, and again, exact same design of the front. You know, I've got a 10 by 10 dish, and this guy connects on here, and it's not super strong, but it's really just kind of connected in there. Just holding on for decoration. Now this is all the exact same design as the back legs. Technic this way, Technic this way, Technic this way, all kind of held together by pins, plates, and it just makes it very strong. Same design here with some curved slopes, arches to kind of take up the, you know, the space of this dish, you know, so it kind of fits in there. Now the one last bit to talk about would be this guy. This thing's not super strong. It's really just, you know, just kind of building some bricks this way, and it's held on by one Technic pin. Now, similar to the back leg, you know, in universe, this is actually where the front leg would connect to the body, and it would turn, and that would give it the leg the ability to kind of move up and down, as opposed to pivoting from here. But because of Lego physics, I'm connecting here, and this is really just an illusion. You know, it's gonna kind of look like it connects here, but really this thing just kind of hanging on. All right, that's gonna do it for this update. You know, this thing, I'm saying this every video, but this is starting to come together. Now for the next video, I think we're gonna look at some really finishing up the body. I've kind of talked about, there's this drive shaft piece that the legs will kind of connect to. I need to finish that up. And then after that, we're gonna really get into some exciting stuff. We are gonna put the body on top of the legs. Now, I will film that and show it, you know, without editing, and hopefully the whole thing stands, and we'll just have to all kind of watch that moment together. But that's gonna do it for this update. Leave me a comment. I would love to talk to you guys about what you think about this. You know, and I've kind of mentioned some of the color scheme, especially with this section. Maybe that's too much light bluish gray. You know, if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. You do not want to miss out on the future videos, especially the big unveiling at the end. Hit the bell notification so you can be notified as soon as this thing drops. And that's going to do it. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll be back soon.